All right, guys, day 7. We are back at it, fresh, rejuvenated, and got a plan, right? So, in the previous iterations, we're using Claude, just vibe coding, iterating through. And in each of these videos, we have exactly 1 hour to perform a certain task to get as much as we want done. So far, we've just been relaxing and building, right? Doing, going through the motions, following the vibe. So this isn't really real agentic coding, right? Agentic engineering requires a bit of structure. Agentic engineering requires that you list out your specs, or you organize your files in a way that you allow for that structure that allows the agent to go right in. So if you're just tuning in, the goal is to create a product that 1 million users can begin to use as soon as possible. My name is Obi. I do agentic engineering for a living, and this is more vibe coding for fun. And I'm hoping that you can join me. We are going to go right into things. So far, what have we been able to build? We've built a demo waitlist, not completely operational, but I'm liking the aesthetic. I'm liking the flow. I can actually show you what this looks like right now. Um, so right now we have this what's coming next. We can see the number of apps in the waitlist. So this is supposed to be a hypothetical center for all of the different products, right? But it's just a demo, right? Uh, nothing completely set in stone yet. Right? And then you'll be able to see the status of all of the apps, those that are live, those that have early access, and those that are coming soon. This would be like a central hub for people to uh, to be able to see my offerings and potentially just continue to build strategically across multiple different products. It looks like there's a potential problem with the live stream. Well, let me start recording now. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Apologies, there's some issues with the live streaming that I've got to address right now. So YouTube is warning me about some of the video bit rate. I'm gonna adjust that really quickly. All right. The other thing is the output. Output or the video? I think this is the aspect ratio. Well, I'm not gonna think about that right now. Let me just take a look and just make sure that we are live and everything is working. It's probably stuff that you have to do before you start. Good. Looks like we're good. Okay, so where were we? Okay, so that's one of the things that we're doing. So the first thing, the focus is going to shift again, right? Initially, it was just create all of these tools that will help speed up my time, right? And of course, I want all of this to be free. I want it to be just like do exactly what I would want it to do, right? I created a shorts creator, right? So you take a long form video and you send it into this. this workflow tool, which will use either a local or some kind of agent provider, right, like Anthropic, to use the timestamps to create shorts. And uh, some of the shorts already have been made by that, so that's been an ongoing experiment. But like, where is the actual million users going to come from? Like, what product do I want them to use? I have quite a bit, but I want to make sure that we get to maturity first, right? I want to build a social media platform, something experimental, something different. Just create a brand and just see where that leads. I want to work with another kind of social platform that allows people um, to kind of exchange products online, similar to eBay, similar to Amazon, right? So quite a few things that I want to do. So let's get right into what we'll be vibe coding today. I think the first thing I want to do is to ask Claude, of course, to move the waitlist, application from being from, basically separate the waitlist from a demo to something more production facing. Right. So what we have right now, what we're showing is a demo. Right. What we really want to get to. Let me zoom in here. What we really want to get to next is to take the waitlist, and all of the current data for apps, and just make that a button that admins can click that would say demo, and show those. Rise, keep it blank till we have apps ready. This should be production ready. That's it. Okay, so there we go. So we are taking all of those apps that we had in that demo waitlist, and we're asking our agent to basically say, you know, this is just more of a demo, right? What we want, oh shoot, it's confused now because I'm doing this at the project level, not at the parent project level, not the actual project itself, right? So the projects with all of the projects. What a waste of tokens. So it went to the Good Quest app. Why would it do that? I find that very interesting. Like it's still burning through tokens. Like this should be priority. Let's escape, interrupt. Yeah, I had to escape that because it was just searching through the project. I think that's the other thing, right? So watching some of the videos lately from some of the experts, right? They really just want to have a Claude MD file, a good project structure of where things are, right? And then just getting Claude to quickly move through those files and gain the necessary context. That was just a lot of tokens. That was 1.4K tokens to realize it was in the wrong directory. Okay. So for the other, I'm going to be doing a few things, right? So for the other one, um, I could work on the project for the Good Quest, but think today I want to get started on my own sort of orchestrator. I think that's where I want to go, right? I think that'll be fun. I think that'll be interesting, and it'll be something that can be done long term. Uh, it'll be something that when you're working through when you're actually trying to build the project, you'll be able to like build something larger. You'll be able to have more of a coordinated effort, right? I'm sure there are multiple agents that you can work with other parts of the Claude product, but something that feels more uh, personalized, right? Something that uh, you know that is honestly would just be fun, right? And then you can add the voice feature, right? Because already typing, um, I'm already feeling like, oh my gosh, we can move faster. We're vibing, right? We should be able to move faster than this, right? And if it's just like how fast can I type to get my ideas down, that's a different story altogether. So uh, what I would do is, or what I would say is, create a. Let's move this over here. What I would do is create a project and start typing my ideas out, right? So I'm going to create a project called Arc, Arc, Arc OS, right? And similar to a Jarvis, right? These are becoming super popular, but I just want to make my own for fun. So we can call it Arc OS, right? And uh, the main will be an Archangel. Will be called Archangel rather. It'll respond to voice command. It'll preserve tokens across agents on command and open up a new agent instance and give them tasks based on user requests. My requests. Oh, I'm getting pretty late today. This is the idea. Right, let me zoom this in. So yeah, we might be pretty zoomed out. Been going for quite a bit, guys. Trying to get back into the swing of things. Right. So for me, the idea being that when the feature would be when I communicate to ArcOS, it responds, right? It will listen to what I say. It can generate a new agent, right? It can tear down agents on my request. Follows user's instructions and assign tasks to relevant agents. Name or rename agents with request. And reply with wittily. It can reply with wit. And let me see. Description. Let me not include that. So on command, you can open a new agent instance, give them tasks based on my request. It follows users' instructions, can assign tasks to relevant agents. It can break down larger tasks into smaller ones and assigns tasks to relevant agents. You can name or rename an agent. You can give the status all agents working. It can reply with. On command, it can open up a new agent instance and give them tasks based on my requests, right? It follows users' instructions, can break down larger tasks into smaller ones and assign tasks to relevant agents. It can name or rename agents based on user request. It can give the status of all agents working. It can monitor throttling and adjust accordingly. And the what is adaptable read. It it follows the version I set for it. Maintain alignment. Right, so you can make this like natural entity, right? And it will sort of be like a manager that has to deal with all these other things in the background. And you just speak to it and declare to you what its vision is, what your vision is, and what the task you want to perform is. It'll work to keep all of these other agents aligned. OS in the directory. Yeah, so one thing I learned is about context management. Like once you've completed your task, just like clear up. Not really the smaller the tasks, the better, right? So clear up the context as soon as you get your features out. So it intelligently clears context window for two large let's from flooding save tasks, then single event. Okay. The other thing I noticed, and I'm gonna type this in really quickly. The other thing I noticed is that I wasn't able to log into the Gmail, so I've got to do a little context switching here. The waitlist. Once again, I'm vibe coding a waitlist, and it's going to be a central hub for all the apps, both the ones that are production facing, the ones that are just demos. Once each of them reach some level of maturity in terms of how confident I feel they are, how useful they are. So I wasn't able to log into the Gmail for the waitlist or log in through Gmail for the waitlist. Let me fix this. I need more information. I need to send more information in that. So if I go has failed to fetch. Let me check my network. Okay. Says failed to fetch. Okay, so it might actually be a good idea to clear the tab here. Failed to fetch. Put all of this in here. I think that worked. Okay, just gonna throw that error trace in there. I'm gonna keep going. So that's the plan, right? Working on this, we're gonna create a project called ArcOS in the projects directory of the 8th drive. We're going to make this domain AI that will be voice controlled, and it'll call Archangel, right? It'll work to preserve tokens across agents. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but we'll explore that. It can reply with wit, right? It'll use, it can update its voice, its name. On command, it can open up a new agent instance and give them tasks based on my request. It follows users' instructions, can break down larger tasks into smaller ones and assign tasks to relevant agents, and name or rename agents based on user request. It can give the status of all agents working. It can monitor capacity and throttling and adjust accordingly. It follows the vision I set for it to maintain alignment. This is something it will ask from time to time to prevent drifting from my intent. It intelligently clears context windows to reduce large message histories from past tasks loading the next set of tasks within a single agent. In all agents, let's put it out. Let's finish their particular task. Yeah, I don't know if that was very clear, but it intelligently clears context windows to reduce large message histories from past. I mean, each agent could do that, but I'd like somewhere more central for them to handle this. No, why does this keep happening? This is for the waitlist. Let's look in the good list or the good quest. So that's the other thing is like the AI. Well, maybe it depends on the specific AI, but this AI will look through, keeps looking in the wrong directory. And it has to wait for me to tell it which directory, or it'll just keep burning tokens trying to do that. So we're gonna fix that right now, I think. So in the project directory, let's create a, let's update our claude MD file to include a further structure so that in the future agents can quickly where they are, or where they should go relative to the project directory. That's what we're doing now. Okay. Is there anything else? This is hardly an MVP. Like, I mean, this is beyond an MVP. The simplest thing would just be to type into this thingamabob called ArcOS. And it's similar to what everyone is calling Jarvis, the Tony Stark AI. I think there are other ones out there. There's BridgeMind as well, right? And a few others. I'm just gonna have fun with this one. The purpose of this is just, at least if you're vibe coding, you should just be having fun. You should just be doing all of these things, just exploring what's possible. Right? When you're vibe coding, you don't necessarily need any kind of system, any kind of particular structure in place. It could be a good place to just learn, right? Learn how things work, learn where to go, test new techniques, right? I think if you're fully just given into the vibes, though, it's a good idea to just see what's possible by just dictating. You can pay attention to all of the other things if you're serious about turning a product into something that is scalable, right? People might want to use at scale, especially for something complex and an enterprise and has multiple different uses. Okay, so see this is powerful, right? So the Claude MD now has a full annotated folder map at the top. Each project section describes the tech stack and purpose of every significant subdirectory. All right, so require that any new agent finds. I think it should automatically do this on purpose, but require that any new agent, any new Claude agent that's there. Fine. So the context. This will be established. All right, that should keep things super simple. All right, anything else? So from a UI perspective, what I'm thinking is um, uh, hmm, black, maybe navy blue. Nah, black would be black Gothic design slash white elegant UI. I know I said Gothic, but let's see what that comes out to do. Okay, let's come back here. Terraform down the new operation. Okay, we have some instructions. Right. Yeah, exactly. So save some tokens. Don't start scanning the whole file, right? If you're looking for something, start with the Claude MD file folder structure. This is the canonical map of the repo. Use it to navigate directly to the right location rather than exploring blindly. I wonder if we can have a different file for it, but that's fine. Let's keep it simple for now. Let's go back to our notes. So I'm still building this thing out, right? So from the UI perspective, I'm thinking something a kind of black, Gothic, and elegant UI. Configurable slots for instantiated agents. Terminal a terminal created for the claude agents. Oh, there's an error instantiating an agent. And then put it here. So the agent is ready. Which are aligned directly. Which are aligned with the layout that is user friendly. Statuses of agents follows. Statuses of agents are as follows: working, ready, completed. It's either I think I wrote this down. Let me just check my notes really quickly. I'm gonna type in working. Pretty sure I wrote that down somewhere. Yeah, I got it. I thought about this on my trip this week. All right, so the idea is to have a color light on each agent that shows the status of each one is working, done, ready. And working, ready, completed. Just say done. Yeah, this will help keep this keep it very easy to context switch. I think just to know what each agent is doing before it's done. Like before actually reading the task, just check out the like what its status is. Use color coded depictions next to the text. The text like the status. Okay. Configurable when an instance, an agent instance is pulling down. Reshape the others to fit the rest of the space. Oops. Oh, okay, just running through some ideas. It's gonna be a big one, but this is gonna be a test. It's gonna be a test for sure. Sidebar that's collapsible. Can show this main agents, the orchestrator agent. Agents, which navigates the list of open terminals. pass, which is preloaded requests from the user. Nice need to moved across swim lanes as agents pick them up. Let's see number of agents. Three agents. The beautiful design that's spherical and represents the network of. This might be kind of silly. I'm gonna think about how I want this to be designed. I'm thinking about like the way birds move, but that might be kind of crazy. Say it represents a spherical. All right. I think we'll get into plan mode with this. Enter plan mode. Let's begin. All right, so I pasted it in. And we're just gonna wait and see. This is gonna be a massive undertaking, so. All right, so, all right, what platform should Arc OS run on? Let me make sure, is that already a name? That's the other thing, right? There is an arcos.com. Very interested. We'll keep it with that for now, then we can maybe update the name later. What platform should Arc OS run on? So it can run on the native desktop app. We'll go with the recommended. How should the voice activation work? Oof, what happened? And what platform aren't? Oh, it said that already. Can do both. How will the Claude agents be powered? I wonder if we can do both. We do both. We do both. Should agent sessions and task history persist between app restarts? What does that mean? Task agent name and conversation history survive restarts. Yeah, we can use a local SQLite. Let's let that continue to work. In the meantime, our waitlist app is having some weird things. There been some issues with the waitlist. Inspect. Same for one unauthorized. Moreover, accounts. Log out. Okay, so now it's working on the full architecture. We're not just vibing, we're trying to create a plan, trying to see, in this case, what will happen. But this one we're vibing, right? We're actually just, I mean, I could say this is still vibing. It's a little bit more planned, right? We're trying to think through the architecture a bit. Which makes sense because it's a large undertaking. Okay, so Claude has written up a plan and is ready to execute. Would you like to proceed? So what's the plan? Phase 1. Ooh, this is a lot. So we're gonna look through some of this. It's a new desktop AI orchestration system to be created there. It is not a modification of any existing product. Core entity is Archangel and Orchestrator that spawns, manages, and coordinates sub-agents via the Claude API and Claude CLI. User interacts via voice, wake word, or hotkey, and a rich dark Gothic UI. This plan covers the full initial project scaffold through a working MVP. Alrighty. All right. Tell me, is this a PNPM? I think I saw PNPM. Yep. PNPM workspace. So there's an orchestrator. We're using an agent adapter pattern. Okay. Okay. We have an agent manager, a context manager. It's a vision guardian. If there's no cell triggered on vision, on the first bit of vision, set every uncompleted task configurable. Okay. Because we can always update this as we're going. UI design, we have a background nearby with subtle Gothic texture. Okay. So what it's looking like, right? There's an Archangel sphere, centered top 3J sphere, pulsing orb, agent grid, auto reflow, CS grid. Okay, status bar, 3 agents online, throttle, okay. Tokens, Archangel sphere, 3JS, particular system, 500 nodes on the sphere, surface connected by animated edges. Pulses brightens when speaking or processing, rotates slowly when idle, spins faster when spawning agents. Cool. I'm gonna see how this looks. Now, this is what I'm talking about. All right, so implementation. Okay, I think we'll let it do its own implementation. All right, is there anything about that that I wanted to change? All right, so we're good. Auto mode lets Claude handle permission prompts automatically. Claude checks each tool call for risky action and prompt injection before executing. All right, so we're doing this. It's gonna build out this thing for us, and it's gonna be cool. So this is day 7, and of course it's sorry if I seem a bit tired. It's just pretty late. Had a long week, and of course we're building an orchestration application for this agentic task, and it'll be voice controlled. Okay, and we'll be able to add multiple agents and query the main agents to perform a specific task. We probably get to a place too where we want to prompt specific agents, but for now it's good that we have one agent as the bottleneck. That agent is going to take some tasks and will kind of break them up into smaller pieces. We probably need to include this request. Oh shoot, this other thing. Sure, code is modularized, repeatable. Please avoid necessary sprawl, repeated code. Avoid spaghetti code. Clean code across. Scalable. Debuggable. Feature events. Next. It's some it's to extensibility. So I included a comment, right, to ensure that the app is has a really good code to ensure proper testing as well. So I added that it should have really clean code, really clean architecture. We want really clean architecture. We want debuggable, structured architecture, because when you're getting the agents to go through this project again, right, you don't want spaghetti code, right? We want to make things as simple as possible, not just for humans if a human needs to get granular and actually look through this code, but also we want it to be easy for other agents to continue to operate, so to speak, on this product, right? And we want to make sure we can move fast. If things are clean, if things are structured, then you can just imagine railways that are pretty organized with the right amount of guardrails, right? So you can move as fast as you want to move, right? But if you have spaghetti code everywhere, and the agent is coming in and it's rewriting things, it's adding things that it doesn't need to. It's always reinventing the wheel, right? So so that's the other thing. So right now we are at the level, let's see, where are we? Okay, so I don't know, I just thanked my agent, but I did. Okay, so it looks like we're in phase 1, right, which is the monorepo scaffold and the Electron shell. Next one would be the Archangel core and Claude API wiring, right? And then there will be an agent manager, CLI adapter, and voice wake word. A wake word will be so powerful. The I think the next step after this, of course, would be the ability for it to communicate back. So I speak to the agent speaks back to me, right? And we kind of use we use voice to communicate back and forth. It's kind of funny that I was watching I don't think it's TEDx, but a TED talk about eye surgeon who is talking about speed, how dangerous speed is, and really how patience and reflection are really powerful in a world where everyone's just going super fast, right? And kind of got me thinking about how to interpret that in the world of AI, right? AI is 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 this game changer, right? We're, we're being told to ship faster. You can kind of step aside and let the agents do the underlying implementation. You just need the vision, right? And so really trying to understand, well, what's the appropriate way to really think about how we should be building in this era? And for me, it probably means number one, find as many problems as you can and solve them, right? But start thinking bigger. Start using your imagination to think about what's possible, right? Because if you can use your imagination, right, and you can find new problems, right, improve things for others, right, you don't need to worry too much about the implementation side. You just need to figure out, well, if we can get to a place where AI can completely handle the nitty gritty of the implementation, right, then our jobs now becomes agency. Where do we want to apply this superpower to? Do we want to go fast in solving a problem in healthcare, solve a problem in finances, right? The sky is the limit. I think there's a problem right now with what it means to be connected, what it means to be human in the world of technology, right? And I think there's a place for this kind of human connection that is genuine, right? Uh, and so, in that kind of sense, someone can actually build around very much stronger uh, social boundaries, social. What's the word I'm looking for? Like social connections, social connectivity, right? The things that are meant to bring us closer together, some of them have made us lonelier than ever. So really solving um, uh, how people connect online is something that somebody can solve. Um, So I genuinely think there are maybe two or three sides to how people can be communicating about AI, especially the agentic AI. The first one, the one that's dear to my heart, is have a vision, like the sort of like the soft side of what AI can do, and there's the more technical, right, which is how do we strategize, right, and architect the either the scaffold, the environment, um, the instructions that allow our agents to move faster, different layers of abstraction, right, uh, and be more accurate, right. And then the third one is really understanding the multiple different tools at our disposal, right? Uh, not just knowing what we can build and what we expect the AI providers to invest their time to building, right? And so that we are now reinventing the wheel or building something that they're just going to override, right? We just build at a layer above whatever it is they're building, right? And we tailor whatever it is we're building on top of that to our users, right? Uh, yeah, right. Looks like we're still building phase one. This is quite a huge project. I don't know if you guys can see this. But we haven't even gone past phase one, and this AI is just like building endlessly, right? But I mean, I was ruthless with that last comment, right? There's no AI slop here. We're not doing any of that. Ensure every package, and every package and version is up to date. Up to date, not at EOL. Yeah, that's a big one. In fact, this should be absolutely core to everything that's being said. Right? We should not be doing anything. The fact that that happened in one of the lives is absolutely abysmal because how can the agent, unless the agent is just fully unaware or we just didn't prioritize it, right? It shouldn't be having an end of life package brought into our project. Yeah. I just want to find out if we're using TypeScript because even though it's more work, but TypeScript is one of those things that I believe adds structure, adds interface, right? Okay, so it took about 13 minutes and 50,000 tokens. I guess I want to find out what's the max concurrency on a Claude Sonnet 4.6 set of agents. The Pro plan. Is it the Pro plan? Is that what it is? Yeah. I hope as we build bigger, we are able to use larger and larger plans. And I think though it is ambitious, the goal of that title is funny though, right? Because I see people who are doing the 0 to 1 million, right? But I don't think money should be my goal. I think for me, shifting to impact, like can I get users to use this at all, right? Like where's the value? It's not just like the money is the ultimate measure of value in a capitalist society, of course, but like can we actually like produce some value that gets the million users, not just the money. The million users for me, even if we never reach that number, we can try, right? Gets us to the impact. We want to be chasing impact. Life is about impact, it's about vision, right? It's about growth. So what do we have here? Okay. Oh, so we can type in our anthropic key. All right. So I'm going to test this thing out. This weird project called Arc OS. And to do that, I will first need to open it in a terminal. The thing that this is a PowerShell. Does it matter whether this is a PowerShell thing? This might be an actual bash. Let me try, then we'll see where we are. Yeah, I might need to get the API key, but we can definitely test this offline. Um, yeah, we're almost to the hour mark. Let me go ahead and see if I can get that for us, and then we can test. We can test it out. We can see how it looks. Most likely going to be terrible, right? That big reveal is super important, right? Whether or not Claude is able to do that, to build this thing really well, that would be super impressive, especially in one shot. All right, bear with me. I am trying to find the API key. Worst case scenario, I will have to create a new key. We're going to call this one ArcOS. Right, copying that key. Ah, I'm going to throw some error. Yeah, I'm going to throw some error in here. Is this a desktop app? Yeah. Throw the error in. Okay. So it didn't work on the first shot, which makes sense. Which is why you gotta you gotta iterate until it works. Jeez. Imagine if they just took away the AI, like all agents just became illegal. What would happen to software engineers? How many people could still remember the code? How many people think, well, yeah, I just imagine. I mean, we're just moving to a point where the future is just not coding anymore. We're just talking. Honestly, it makes sense, and it's kind of interesting, like how all of this is foretold in sci-fi stories, right? When you think about Tony Stark, you think about how he develops things, right? He's basically vibe coding. He's vibing with Jarvis, and they're both building something together, right? And he's prompting, he's directing, and Jarvis is responding, right? And I like the witty banter that occurs between them, and that's one of the things that I want to kind of feed into my own agents, and I want to see over time as we iterate on this, right? And why Arc OS, why Archangel? There's this episode of Love, Death, and Robots where I think it's through the a Killer Rift. I think if I remember if that's the precise episode name, and they have to kind of do some kind of insertion point jump or something. So just some kind of warp, right? Wormhole technology, something like that. And um, and the system that does that for them on their ship is called Archangel, right? And they always talk to Archangel to perform these tasks for us. So Archangel is this kind of covering orchestrator that performs tasks on these smaller entities that does the agentic efforts for us. And we only need to communicate with Archangel, and the Archangel is going to handle the deeds behind it, like the delegation behind the scenes. That's what the hope of this is going to be, right? Now, as we're going along, we can kind of work on more intricacies. I want to understand the capacity. I could actually open a bunch of Claude agents, but I want to see what happens. What's the limit on a $20 plan? And then we can push things further and say, hey, what's the limit on a $100 client? You know, let's just to keep exploring and understand. Personally, I want to hit the limits, right? And see what can be done, how effective this orchestrator can be when we're trying to move fast. Okay, so some TS config issues and some post CSS issues. Okay. All right, let's try this out. So I'm going to type in pnpm dev. Okay. It looks like we're getting there. Still having some issues. What happens instead if I do pnpm start? Few issues here. All right, so I am not entirely sure why I'm getting all of these errors. Yeah, my expectation is that we would have actually opened an Electron application, not a web app. But let's just see what the oh yeah, that yawn tells me it's time to start packing up for bed. Oh, keep building though. Somebody said that in the future, especially in the enterprise environments, right? Like how much tokens. Ooh, a JavaScript error occurred in the main process. Okay. Right. So in the future, token usage will be a measurement of productivity, and really figuring out how to measure that quality token usage, because you can just keep burning tokens, right? But really seeing the outcomes behind those tokens, that kind of analysis. Maybe that's one of the products we should focus on building, right? Really helping businesses understand impact of the tokens that they're using. So let me make a note of that. Helping businesses understand the impact of token usage. It's not about quantity, but the quality of tokens. So many product ideas, so many little time, so little time. So happening here, you can see the agent is fixing the issues that we're having with even just loading the Arc OS app. Okay. We run it going forward, dev mode, pnpm dev. Start with pnpm start. And just see how things go. Ooh, can you guys see that? This is good stuff. Testing 1, 2, 3. Hey, Archangel. Oh, interesting. Okay. Not bad at all. Hmm. I don't know if you guys can see this. Can I zoom in? Yes, I'm asking it. Let's call it Gabriel. Guess the gender. Interesting. Hmm. Interesting. I wish this was big enough. So it says here, so Gabriel descends, right? Action, spawn agent, name Gabriel, adapter CLI, task, audit, improve the README in Shorts Creator, add missing sections, clean formatting, ensure clarity. You'll start by surveying the existing README and project structure before making changes. I'll report back. I don't know if the audio frequency, not audio frequency, but the audio feature is working. So that's the other thing. Interesting. We need the ability to zoom in, maximize the screen. Interesting. Yeah, we might need to work on this some more. Yeah, there's no way. This is just stopped. It's fine. I think this is a good place to stop. You can already kind of see what's possible with a little bit of redesign. Things could be a lot cleaner, but the process is coming together, right? So I will check in again. So this is day 7 vibe coding. Guys, take care, okay? See you in the next one.